as a turning point. Congresswoman Debbie Lesko of Arizona joins us. It's now also a major hotspot in this crisis. And she's a member of the Congressional Border Security Caucus. Congresswoman, it is heartbreaking. It is such an outrage. Your reaction to Lakin's killing?
Well, I'm absolutely devastated, and my constituents are scared. They're scared because Biden and the Democrats' open border policy have allowed this man to come into our country, give him parole, and kill an innocent young woman. And, you know, here in Scottsdale, Arizona, there are Venezuelan gangs, organized crime, breaking into people's houses, using Wi-Fi and cell phone blockers to get around cameras. These are organized criminals. And this is what Biden and the Democrats are allowing. You know that on day one, President Biden stopped the construction of the border wall. He got rid of Remain in Mexico. He needs to reverse that and do the Trump policies that worked.
Barr is accused. He hasn't been convicted, of course, of this crime. What we know about him is he came in September at some point through El Paso, takes a bus to New York City. He's arrested in New York City, reports say, riding a moped with the child. The child didn't have a helmet. Presumably that's his 5-year-old son. Splits up with his wife. His brother says he goes to Georgia to try and find a job. Then he comes back in December from some type of immigration hearing. So he's in the system. He's part of the system here, yet then he's released and allegedly commits this horrible murder. What, instead of going through that, do you think should have happened to him in the first place?
Well, you know, again, Biden could secure the border now if he wanted to, but he's not doing it. And all I can imagine is that the Democrats and Biden care more about adding more Democrat congressional seats than they do about protecting American citizens. This is horrific. As you know, the Biden administration implemented, I think it was in September of 2022, this new parole system to let more Venezuelans, Haitians, Cubans, Nicaraguans into our country. All President Biden is doing and the Democrats are incentivizing more people from all over the world, Chinese nationals that could be spies, terrorists, people from all over the place are flooding into our country. We don't know where they are. The ICE just caught somebody recently that was on the terrorist watch list, but he's been roaming around the United States for almost a year. This has got to stop. And I think the U.S. House of Representatives has the power of the purse. This is the only leverage we have. Americans want us to secure the border because Biden won't, and I think we should do it.
Well, you know what the president says, and Democrats, that it's your fault. That's the GOP is blocking that bipartisan bill. Let's listen to Karine Jean-Pierre, was asked about all this at the White House. We have that soundbite, do we?
We have said over and over again, this is a system that has been broken for decades. We worked with Republican senators and also Democrats in the Senate to try to come up with a fair and tough piece of legislation. We've done this for months, and House Republicans have gotten in the way.
You know, critics say they blame President Trump for boasting that he torpedoed the bipartisan bill and that the Republicans are using this against Biden for political purposes, against him for the election.
That is a total joke. I mean, it's a laughable joke. I mean, there wasn't even any negotiations in the Senate in December of 2023 when 302,000 illegal immigrants crossed the border compared to 74,000 3 years previously under President Trump. It's the policies of the Biden administration and the Democrats. The only reason I can think they want these wide open borders is because more and more people will flood into Democrat cities, which will be counted in the census, and the Democrats will get more congressional seats. That's the only logical reason I can think of. But we have to care about national security. And for the Biden administration to, after he stopped and reversed the Trump policies of Remain in Mexico, stopped funding the border walls on day one. Now he claims that it's the Republicans' fault. Are you kidding me?
So right now, finally, executive orders. What would you want the president to do? What would you like to see? Put those Trump orders back in? And what are the chances that he would actually do that?
Well, if he reinstates the Trump border policies like remain in Mexico, that would greatly reduce the number of people that are crossing the border. If he would construct the wall, there's openings in the Arizona border fence. There's wide openings where people are crossing. So he could do those two things. It would automatically reduce it. Is Biden going to do it? No, he's not going to do it. We need to change the president of the United States. That's the only thing that is going to secure the border. We need to elect President Trump, who has a proven record of doing this already.
Right now, an American family is mourning Lakin's family, her friends. She is dead, allegedly at the hands of a migrant who was in the system. He will supposedly get a fair trial. In Lakin's memory, you laid out some of the issues. Arizona Congressman Debbie Lesko. Thank you. Arthel?
Thank you.
May Lakin's soul rest in peace.